Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Tier 3 MRL racing. We are back for Austria round 1. For today, we're in the last couple races left until we get going for the championship. The championship battle is really tight right now with Crampy in the lead. We're here in the beautiful view of Spielberg in Austria. Couple corners, that's definitely going to be a issue for these drivers to not get any warnings or invalidate their quality lap, but this track is definitely going to be a track for some spectacular racing. So going to this track, it's a 4.3 kilometer track with 2 DRS zones, 3 sectors. Of course, 2 DRS zones, one in the beginning and one on the second straight. After turn 1, elevations about 63.5 meters, about the highest point in turn 3, the tricky hairpin. Going to the turn 1, we've seen last season with Atom and Routinius going with the heavy championship. Turn 1, we're going to see a lot of warnings and invalidation quality laps, so these drivers definitely need to be in peak with their pace right now. We have turn 3 in hairpin, one of the trickiest corners of this track. You definitely need to get it right or you'll spin off. We will see a lot of great overtakes as one of the main overtake zone. Here we have Squid going for a very, very good overtake. We can definitely see some creative overtakes going into this track. So, of course, we have 2 DRS zones and 4.3 kilometers, 10 turns in total. Let's take a look at the standings right now. We have Crampy right now having a massive, massive lead. But Carbon technically still needs can still win the championship if he performs well and Crampy doesn't perform that well. Crampy just needs 14 points in total to win the championship, while Carbon needs to be in the podium position. If Carbon is in the podium position while Crampy is out of the podium position, then Carbon has a chance to win, but he needs to have that consistency. I know Crampy definitely has a great pace advantage, and he definitely knows how to be consistent in certain tracks if you put practice on it, but you never know. We're going to start the race really soon. We've seen a lot of great races before with Tier 4, America Tier 2. All the drivers are readying up now, and yeah, Bito will join me later on today, maybe mid-quali, but we will see with that, as all the drivers are getting into the game right now. But looking at the, give me a second, looking at the track right now, we're in Austria right now, but there is a couple of races left. If we go over to the calendar, we're in Austria, but the last 2 races are going to be Mexico and Brazil, and we've seen those races in the past. They're definitely tricky ones to get used to, and definitely if Carbon can win this championship, he needs to perform well in these last 2 races. And Crampy, he's definitely has the title right now to win the championship. It's in his reach. He just needs to get a podium position, and that's it. He can get that championship. He's already in a massive lead. I won't be surprised if he does win the championship today. But we've seen it in Spain, we've seen it in France as well. We'll see the consistency if it comes through. So right now we have all the drivers coming in, getting ready for their laps. All right, we have, I believe, Yasko first out to be on track as I enable all my telemetries. Alright, here we are in the beautiful view of Spielberg. Let's get on board with the driver right now. Everyone's going out for their out laps. I believe the Williams of I think it's Crampy that is out first. Crampy is indeed first out, so we're gonna see if he can set a good banker lap. He's on those medium tires, so make sure you don't validate before you start the lap. That's not a good thing if you want that. He sets it nice clean, and here we go. Starting with lap 1. First lap of the qualifying session in Tier 3. Will he get a good banker? Going to turn 1, not invalidating. And as well getting a good exit speed, shifting up to gear 5 so you don't spin. Going to the long DRS straight, one of the longest in this track here. Going to a ticky turn 3, the hairpin. Make sure you don't spin off, because this is it's a high elevation change when going to that turn, so spinning will be a disaster. Here we have audio. Going into turn 5, it's a nice turn, but need that extra speed to carry you to the next turns. He sets it cleanly, nothing huge, but this is a medium banker lap. I'm kind of interested to see where the mediums are now. He goes purple sector, but I believe that won't be for long as the softs are going out. Average lap time is a 103. I'm expecting a low 103 for these drivers, or a mid 103. He does back off a little bit. He does lift, so he doesn't use his soft laps. We have Jasko finishes lap as well. Edu, his teammate, 4.1. And those are the banker laps right now for the medium tires. We're gonna have the soft runners coming in. Jasko finishing the first soft lap. Didn't beat the medium runners, but we have more drivers coming in now. More drivers hitting the mediums. As I said, the track is a 103, so the medium tires, or the tires you use in quali, they're going to be used up pretty quick. Carbon Racer with the fastest medium banker goes at 103.8. Good luck for the Mercedes. Carbon needs to keep that consistency. I know the Mercedes boys have been practicing all night long, all day long, all week long. Eruption in Tier 1 is his home race, so hopefully he can set a good pace for after tomorrow's race. As we have now some drivers finishing their lap. Tire wear is not that big of an issue. The strategy is a soft medium or a medium soft. But yeah, so these tires can definitely do 2 laps in quali without worrying. The drivers don't have to worry much with tire wear. But if safety car is gonna have to come in, or or maybe weather, we don't have any weather prediction so far. If the engineers can come through, give us a prediction on what kind of tires or what kind of weather that's going to be. So we have most of the drivers. There's 13 minutes 40 seconds left. A lot of time already passed. Most of the drivers, we have 8 drivers, 9 drivers not finishing a lap yet. I believe Max O'Connor is in a lap. So as I said, the main championship rivals right now is Carbon Racer and Crampy. They're the drivers they're going to look at, but there's still 2 races left. These drivers are still fighting for points for the construction championships. So we'll see with that. We have drivers letting through in Sector 2. As we have some drivers going to the pits right now. There's 13 minutes left on the clock of this qualifying session. A nice sunny day in the beautiful scenery of Austria. We have Jose Manuel invalidating his lap, I believe. He's going to start his lap now, I believe. Maybe another lap, or will he back out this lap? Jose Manuel has shown great pace, great consistency, but he has a smart mind. He's been recently performing really well on this strategy. Sid, and he clips the AlphaTauri. Sid didn't back off as much. It might have been a distraction for Jose Manuel. That's an unfortunate spin, as well as one of the AlphaTauris, Jasko, the AlphaTauri of Jasko. He's might have to pit again. He might have gotten that damage from clipping Jose Manuel. That's unfortunate for Jose Manuel, but so much time left, you know. The AlphaTauri doesn't seem to have any damage, but you never know. This might be invisible damage, letting all the drivers through right now. But there's still a lot of time left for Jasko and Jose Manuel to come back into the pits, start another lap. Jasko is on the medium tires, so some drivers choosing to use their medium tires in middle distance. As I said, average lap time is a 103. So if you just go out on softs only, you're gonna have a lot of time spared. So there's no point for that. Let's follow some of these drivers going for a lap right now. We have Kane Gekvan on a lap for the McLaren. He's been showing great pace as well, especially in Spain last race. He's been showing excellent pace with his strategies. Go purple sector 2, navigating those corners. Make sure you navigate, give a lot of speeds going through these corners. Going to his last turns, it's easy to go off wides, and it's easy to invalidate as well. Staying nice between those limits. Oh, he spins, and he's no front wing in that car. He's lucky to be saved off without a wheel being gone from that car. Lucky from Kane Gekvan, but he needs to let these drivers through. Unfortunate for him, but he is lucky to be alive in this qualifying session. He's gonna have to come back every time. I feel like when I spectate some drivers, they always go a little bit off. They spin a little bit. But we have Edu starting his lap right now. I believe Kane Gikvan teammate Trixam is starting a lap. Goes a little bit wide. It's not invalidation. So staying this track limits. Some of these corners, if you go a little bit wide, you might not invalidate your lap. Of course, we have strict rules to prevent any time gain. Looking a bit spinny coming off turn 3. It's quite easy to lose the rear end, especially going to a corner. I feel like, yeah, he is backing off his lap. He feels like he can improve on this lap. If he can drop off, you have Edu as well. He's on the soft tires, starting his lap. Oh, and he spins as well. Did it go too much in the traction? I think he tried to catch it. And there wasn't any. I think he just pushed the car too hard, and yeah, that didn't quite work out for him. So all these drivers, I believe XTXP is in a lap right now. Went a bit too deep in that turn. Some of the only drivers out right now doing a lap. It's looking a bit slow. I don't believe he is in the lap. He's looking a bit slow. The driver's letting him through. One other driver who can stick through is the Baclau of Haas. Nice rev with the Haas going off of turn 3. It's important to get nice traction off those turns. Coming to that turn. A nice exit speed going through that turn right there. Make sure it's carrying a lot of speed. This one, you make sure you have a nice turn and you want to go too wide and jump into the gravel. As well as here, you don't want to touch that curb because that curb will definitely spin you off. There's a death curb in this track, definitely. Going through the last sector, hoping he won't invalidate. That's good. Still in the tracks. Oh, that was a bit close, but he still got it in. What lap does he set in a lap time? It's a P3, the top soft runner of 103.9. A mega lap by Baclau. But we're definitely going to see these drivers be in that lap time, and we're going to see Carbon as well in his out lap. Still strong with that 103.8 with those medium tires. We're 8 minutes in. The driver is going in their second run, or for some people it's their third run. So make sure he's warming up those tires nicely. He has Wisp. Was a championship contender. He did perform well in the last race. Going through the last sector, make sure he's not. I don't believe he's in a lap. He might be just going to the pits. You can follow another person. Yasko validate his lap. Maka in his out lap, hoping to aid his teammate for the championship, as well as giving some points for Mercedes. Jose Manuel with the unlucky spin early on this qualifying stages, hoping to put in a good lap time for those soft tires. Going to turn 3, it was a nice traction off that corner. Yasko receives a 5-place grid penalty for colliding with Dark. This was out of nowhere. What happened to these two drivers? Did they collide during turn 1? Did someone... It might have been Dark and not giving him space, or didn't back off, didn't see the car, but Yasko has a 5 grid place penalty, so that's an unfortunate scenery for him. That must be frustrating for the driver. We have Jose Manuel coming to the last corner, hoping he's not to invalidate that lap. Going through time, he sets a P4 with a 103.9. There's a high 103s right now for these drivers. Still a 103.8 as pole on a medium tire, so a medium tire beating out the soft runners, so that's very interesting. We have most of these drivers in the out lap still. Gabzim in the start of his lap right now. Going to turn 3, will he get a nice traction off that corner? Make sure you turn it nice, hit a little bit curve, but I don't think you'll lose that much time. We can go on board with Crampy as he invalidated his lap. Will he go on another lap? I believe so, he will. We have Maka. I just saw that map. I think he set a purple sector recently. Going through the last corner, make sure he's not invalidating or not going wide. If you hit too much of that curb right there, you can definitely spin off as well. If he goes into the line, what time does he set? He sets pole with a 103.8. The top soft runner now taking pole. Maka and Carbon provisionally P1 and P2. But we have other drivers right now. We have Crampy setting his lap. Already a 1 lap old with those tires. going into these turns right now. He needs to navigate as well as that curve. You don't want to take too much of that curve right there. As well as this one. So it's purple sector 2. Won't be surprised if he takes pole. It's looking like a really good lap for him. Going to the last turn, turn 8, turn 9. Then the last turn of turn 10. Oh, it goes off. That's not an invalidation. That's going to make him lose a lot of time. But is that pole? No. That is a 103.8 right behind Dark. Dark, one of the person that collided with Yasko to give him a 5-second penalty. Might be reported, but we shall see about that. Most of the drivers, Edu still on his medium tire late this qualifying session, so it's 4 minutes 30 seconds in this lap. Will Crampy give the slipstream? Yes, he will give the slipstream. This is some nice teamwork being shown by these two William drivers. It is a medium tire, so it won't be that good. Jose Manuel staying a 103.7 with those soft tires. What a lap for him. Coming back after that spin early on in the qualifying session. You have Dark going back into the pits. Crampy as well going back to this. We have Kane Gikvan spinning off into the last turn. Will he keep it consistent? He's on the soft tires. Oh, looking a bit shaky there. But keeps the car on the track. Make sure not to hit that curb. Kane, that curb will set you off. Upshift to not spin off that turn. Going to the last corner, make sure not to take so much curb, not turning in aggressively, and goes into the pits. Didn't feel like it was a respectable lap time. As in the meantime, Trixam sets up purple sector 2. His teammate hoping to set a good lap time here. Nice turn in. Is that validation? Oh, is that? What was that? Was that intentional or was that by accident? He was looking really good. He had a purple sector too. He might have job well done if he intentionally went to the pits. That's a 10 for me for points for tricks. The circus we see in F1 here. We have Viasco in a lap, I believe. It's not improving in his lap time that much. Yasko hoping he can do well going through the last turns right now. Going into turn 9. Don't turn aggressively or your rears will just spin off. Going to the last turn, not invalidating. Well, that time does he set. That's P11 right behind Gabsum. A strategical pull, in my opinion. Yeah, Backloud moving away for drivers. Wisp on those soft tires. One of the drivers to look out for a very fast driver. Going to turn 10. Well, lap time will he set with those softs? He turns it really nicely. He's going to track as much as possible. He sets pole with a 103.5. What a lap time from Wisp. That is definitely a respectable lap time. That's pretty good for Wisp, the Swedish driver hoping to take provisional pole. And probably destroying Crampy's championship. We have Carbon Racer going to start his lap. One of the last runs for these drivers. Does he invalidate? No, he doesn't get a nice run to start his lap, but that won't matter as it's only a few milliseconds that matters. Going to turn 1, hoping he doesn't invalidate. Keeps it nice. Nice throttle off there. Going to turn 3. Make sure he gathers a lot of speed going to a turn as well as not losing the rear. Turns in nicely. A little bit shaky going to a turn, but nonetheless looking good so far for Carbon Racer. Still have 1 minute 30 seconds. Most of these drivers, once they start coming out of their pits, are going to start their lap soon. Nice exit going off that turn. Making sure not to make sure to use all the track as possible. Going through these last few turns as well as not use this curb as this is the death curb. Only a 1.5 improvement from his lap time. Not pole, but not bad. Because these top 2 to top 8 right now is pretty tight. So a 1/10.5, especially if he does well in his last sector, could really do good for him in this position, in this qualifying session. Puts P2 right behind Wisp. Is he gonna do another lap time? I believe so, as he's using some of that ERS. You have Jose Manuel as well. starting his lap soon. Make sure that tires are warm. We have Maka, his teammate, starting out in the middle of his lap. Let's see what time he improves. Only a bit. So with Cramper right now, I believe he's in the middle lap as well. I believe so. He's going to turn 3. That was a really good turn from Crampy himself, going to sector 2 right now. There's a driver in front of him, hoping he can disappear when he comes close to him. Going into those turns. Qualifying is finished, so these are the last lap set. P4 for Carbon, but Carbon is still in the lap. He can still do another lap. Crampy is in P9, hoping to improve on his lap time, as P9 will not be beneficial for him and for the championship. It goes in nice. Will he invalidate in the last turn? He does invalidate on the last turn. It's Sid. Spin him off. Oh my god, what has just happened? Crampy sets P9. This is unfortunate for the British driver, the championship leader right now. He invalidates on the last turn. Sid gets a 5-place grid penalty for colliding with back row. I don't think it was intentional, but what have we seen in these drivers? P2 for Carbon Racer right now. He sits at 103.5. Let's go on board with his teammate right now. Maka is finishing his lap. I believe he'll be going to the pits. As I see most of these drivers done with his lap. Yasko finishes his lap. Jian, is he in the lap? No, he's not. We have XCXP out on the lap right now. There might be a bike, that is. So he will probably be allowed to set another lap time. But wow, what have we seen? Crampy's in P10. Most likely the worst position to be in, especially for championship leader. We have Wiz starting in pole with a 105.3 and Carbon Racer with a P2. This is crucial for Carbon Racer right now. If he sticks into the podium position and Crampy is stuck in that top 10 range, he needs to keep that. He needs to be Crampy needs to perform really well if he wants to win this championship today. There's a lot of added pressure for those drivers. The XAXP is starting his lap. As I presume, this glitch is one of the new glitches the F1 2021 has to offer. Starting his lap right now, we can go on board with him as he is the last driver. Going to turn 3. Locks up a little bit. He needs to get a good exit. Oh, and that's the lap done. As I told you, the turn 3 is a tricky turn. You can lose your rear so easily. Well, these are your qualifying. This is basically the results. We're gonna have to see a little bit afterwards if those grid penalties are gonna affect anything, because we know we have Yasko with a 5-place grid penalty, so he's gonna go back into 18th place. As well as Sid, he's gonna go back down to last place. So back row and XAXP, the two Alpine boys, are gonna move up 2 positions. We have Maka in P8. He's in front of Crampy crucially, so in the words of Fernando Alonso, he's gonna have to defend like a lion. We have Dark in a lap as well, one of the other drivers to be have an advantage with the glitch, but the AIs are in the way. They can't be moved out the way. So is it gonna collide? That was so close. He definitely lost a lot of time with that. There's nothing that he can do, other drivers can do, because they're all on AI mode. We have Sergio Perez joining with us. Going a bit wide. Is he going to invalidate in the last turn like Crampy did? No, he did not. And he crosses the line, setting a... Don't know what that lap time was, but we'll see after the results. Interesting to see Sergio Perez join in the Fury. He saw the action and said, you know what? I want to join in, represent Red Bull a little bit. So,
I will join as well.
Hey, and Bito joined in as well. Welcome back, Bito. I'm going to the standings right now. We have Wiz in P1. Good lap time from him. We have Carbon Racer in P2. Mercedes hoping to get some points. Kane Geekvan in P3. Trixam P4, the 2 McLaren boys. AM Stark in P5. That's your top 5. Edu P6. Pookie and Jose Manuel for Ferrari in P7, P8. We have P9 Maka. Crampy in P10, the worst position for him to be in. We have P11 Gabsim. It's P12 Baklam. P13 Yasko. P14 Max O'Connor. And it just skipped through. Hello, Bito. How are you?
Hello, really good. Right now, to be honest, on a glitch, on a spectator glitch, so we hope it doesn't affect on anyone, but it's really weird because I can't have a spectator menu, but we will try to do the best, of course. But really happy to be back, of course, and well, with you, of course.
Of course, of course. It's always glad to have you here to bring us some beautiful spectating, beautiful commentating. So, have you seen the qualifying session so far?
It's been good, really interesting with Crumpy there on a really low position compared to where we normally see him. But it's gonna be really important to maximize on the first lap as he's on the same strategy as the top 10, it seems. So we'll see how he managed to clear the traffic to be able to win this championship with 3 rounds to go.
As yeah, he's the championship leader right now, the worst position to be in, as well as Maka is in P8, right in front of Crappy. So there's definitely opportunities to defend, to help aid Carbon Racer win the championship. As we are starting now with the formation lap. So the strategy most likely will be a soft medium or medium to soft for these drivers.
Something like that, I think, yeah.
Yeah, I believe. Tire wear isn't that big of an issue, do you think?
I think the tire wear is not that high as we normally were used to, but we'll see what they can do because it will be really difficult to manage sometimes that wear, and we'll see if someone tries to do a different strategy, able to really gain something against the rival. So it will be really interesting.
Acro disqualified for the formation lap, unfortunate for him. But we have Crampy in P9. I believe maybe there was someone with a 5-place rear penalty, so he's promoted up a position right next to the Mercedes. So crucially, Crampy needs the great start if he wants to quickly overtake Maka. You have good qualifying session for the McLaren boys, P3 and P4 for them, hoping to get some points. But as well, turn 1 is definitely tricky. We're definitely going to see some cars go off wides, as it's a very tight corner to go side by side through. As we have the drivers collecting themselves through the grids.
Interesting on strategy as well, back row and Jose Manuel, I don't know if you said it, but starting on those stuffs outside of the top 10. So we'll see if they gain those positions they want on the first stage of this race, and we'll be ready in a few moments. So Psycho, you know how to do it.
I'll take it away, thank you, Vito. Yeah, so Jose Manuel back on the soft tires, maybe gambling on the safety car, but we'll see. We have the drivers now lining up for the grids. Most of the drivers are lined up, everyone's in position. Okay, lights are on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The lights are revving, the cars are revving. Lights out and away we go. We have the drivers on their way right now. Is Carbon Racer gonna get a good start? Everyone's keeping nip and tuck. But most importantly, Crampy is already in P8. He's already in front of Maka. And are we going to see these drivers go off wide? We have some Aston Martins going off wide right now. We have Carbon Racer still stuck in P2, but most importantly, Crampy is in P8 in front of the from the Mercedes driver. Will they keep it clean going to turn 3? Most of the drivers going side by side, and nobody's going off right now. Looks like, ooh, a little bit of tuggle with the Ferrari and the Aston Martin, but everything is clean right now. Going into going through these turns, make sure that oh, we have someone. There was some contact. I saw there's an end plate somewhere there. I believe it's the Haas drivers.
Yeah, it might be that, because Gabizon and Haas, the Haas of Baklo, I think, they had contact going into turn 4, really crucial. They didn't cause a major incident, and that moved from Crampy on 6th and 7th into his teammate, up into P8 already.
We saw Crampy already move into a position in front of Maka, but something must have happened, and he dropped positions. It was lucky that Edu was in front of him so he can conceive that position, but Crampy needs to send those lap time right now. We have the first couple laps coming on right now. Carbon Racer is still stuck in P2. But right now everyone's keeping in nit and tuck. We saw one driver getting a missing end plate, and I believe some drivers are ghosted going into turn 1. So still keeping it very close to these drivers, as there's only a few tenths between these drivers.
Yeah, but battle for the podium and as well for the lead, really close, still dark, close on Kane. We'll see if he managed to do something there on turn 4, it doesn't seem like. But still keeping it really tight on that battle for the podium. Two McLarens really close between each other.
We have Dark is in the McLaren sandwich right now, so there's a bit of separation, but it's good stuff from Dark right now, moving up the positions. Carbon Racer is already almost out of the DRS, and the DRS here is crucial. DRS can change everything. Being out of that DRS range is gonna definitely impact Carbon's race and most of the drivers' race as well.
Yeah, because if you're stuck there with, behind a driver that doesn't have DRS, you will lose that gap to the lead. Whisper now pushing as much as he can.
Contacts. Yasko falling off the grid there. What happened? Did somebody go side by side there?
Might be that. Seems like both AlphaTauris having major issues, and they are in the back of the grid. Backlow, we saw there on stream, having a small moment at the exit of turn 1. We'll see if someone now with DRS enabled can make any move. Seems like Puki is really close to Trixam.
Looks like Puki's only 2/10. He's not going to go for the move. Might as well wait for the next DRS zone. But DRS is enabled right now. Carbon Racer, good job for him, keeping inside that DRS range. Crampy as well, getting closer and closer to Maka, but the gaps right now are leveled. As well, we have Jose Manuel almost outside the DRS range, but these drivers are looking for the overtakes already. This is the thing with the Austrian racetrack. We see overtakes a lot early, and this is definitely in play with ERS usage, for example. There's definitely going to be a lot of ERS usage and a lot of management to do.
Early, it will be really difficult to go to the end with the optimal strategy. Now Wisp not able to extend that gap with Carbon Racer. It's only half a second, and good news as well, I'm in the lobby finally, so we'll see the action really close now as Carbon Racer managed to keep that gap to half a second, utilizing that DRS as well to keep that Mercedes exchanging positions. Back row and Max O'Connor on the back as well.
We have Puki really close to Trixam right now. He was eyeing up a move into turn 3. He's right behind that DRS swing. He tapped him a little bit. Is this going to give the Maka the opportunity to pass him? He's right behind him. Is he going to dive it in? Is he going to go for the overtake? They're side by side right now. He's right inside his gearbox. He conceives the space and gives back the position. But Maka... Oh, Trixam goes off! Trixam hit the deadly curb, I believe, and goes off. That's one position gain for all these drivers, but that's unfortunate for Trixam. He was looking really good.
Yeah, it was doing really good.
Oh, we have Crappy gone off!
Is that Crappy?
Crappy has gone off! No way! This is crucial for the championship leads. Crappy must be disappointed right now. This is... Oh my god, the championship has certainly changed due to this accident.
It's gonna be really interesting now. He has to do the comeback. He's now last place. And a lot of seconds there to fight. Again, Maka now overtaking Puki on turn 3 on the outside. Really good move for Puki, probably having a comeback now. Who has the DRS? It seems like the Ferrari can strike back. Is there on the back straight now, looking for the move on turn 4. He looks for the inside. Maka really ahead and protecting that one, but the traction of the Ferrari can be really good. He's just on the gearbox of that Mercedes.
Good move from Maka, but the fight is not over yet. They're still really close together. Luckily, Crampy didn't have any damage, so he's not going to have to pit. But he is way back the order. He's going to do some fighting or hope for a safety car for these oncoming laps.
Max O'Connor back low as well, battling there on the exit of turn 8. Look at the hazards, really close on the back of that Aston Martin. We'll see if he can manage to do a move. Really close between XT, and the two drivers that follow him right now. Jose Manuel, the first of these 19 drivers to take a penalty. He's now on P10, starting on those softs, gaining 2 places, the Ferrari driver.
These drivers right now, these 3 drivers, Baclau went for the move. He had a little bit of contact. He just went too fast in that corner. This is going to allow Jian to go for the overtake. They're side by side right now, going to turn 3. Is he going to dive it up the inside? I don't believe he will. He will look for it, but there's none there. There's a tap. There's contact with Trixam and Baclau. Going to turn 3 right now. What racing are we seeing right now? We have Edu and Gabism, as well as going to turn 4. They're fighting out, going side by side right now. Looks
really
like
good move from Gabism. Yeah, Gabism on those mediums, putting them to perfection. Now getting 3 places from the start. Lap 6 already. And the Red Bull climbing a little bit of positions there. Edu failing to do that, losing 2 places, started on 6th place.
Ifun is right behind of Edu, the William driver, hoping to aid Crampy and gain some points for the William Constructor Championship. But not looking good so far for the Williams, as well as the Mercedes boys are looking really good right now. You have a yellow flag. Is that Sid, I
That's
believe?
it seems like, yeah, he lost it on the same place as Crampy.
Yeah, I think he must have taken too much curb, as that's one of the some of the reasons why you can spin off during those last turns. We have Crampy gaining another 3 positions, as well as Strixham pitting for damages, I presume. So
Fytron losing 2 places now. Fytron there battling with it seems like Edo, side by side still on the back straight, both with DRS. But the Aston Martin's gonna brake later. I'm gonna have that position before even braking, so really good for him. Is the driver with most places gained from the start as well, sharing that with XTXP 7 places. Is now up into P8.
There's the top 4 is definitely taken away. The train is right now is leading the pack. There's already a 2-second gap between P4 and P5. So Maka hoping he could overtake Pookie soon. He's already 5 tenths behind him, as well as Edu hoping to get that position back from Ifun. But most of these drivers, we're in the late stages now. The tires are gonna start craving up soon. When do you think these?
Pitting.
We have Jose Manuel pitting.
Is that for damage or is that just for pure tire wear? It seems like strategy call. Is Jose Manuel pitting right now for new mediums. That seems like a double stop, and there's a yellow flag. I think that's Max O'Connor losing control of his car at the exit of turn 1. Not having a good start of this race.
And that's another position gained for Crampy. So turn 1 is one of those corners as well. If you're not careful, you can definitely spin off. They're going side by side, going to turn 4 right now. Max O'Connor with the mediums and Crampy with the softs. They're still going side by sides. Still going. Yeah, Crampy goes in front of Max O'Connor right now. Good position for him. He's in the faster tire right now. So nothing that Max O'Connor can do. The gap is already up to 4 tenths. So good stuff from Crampy, getting that position. Gian is right behind back row.
Yeah.
It's right behind his DRS ring.
I was gonna tell you, he's really close. Seems like the mediums are starting to gain some time against the softs. And now Alumni, well, that's the commentator's curse if I've ever seen one. Because Gian now with 3 second time penalty extending track limits at turn 9. And now, well, he will have to fight with that on his back. But it seems like he has the pace on his hands, so we'll see if he can manage to clear that Alpine on turn 3. But the rival in front of him, he has DRS as well from his teammate, and probably he will even try there back row, fighting on the outside with XTXP. XTXP reserving now. He's a tier 4 driver. He doesn't want to defend too much against his teammate. And now John really close to XTXP. He will fight for the slipstream, and now double slipstream from both Alpines. He's fighting there on the outside. He will have the switch back probably, but XTXP really struggling. And oh, is that contact?
That was definitely contact. That was a big hit. There's a missing M plate from the back cloud of Haas. There was barely space given. That looks like an Albon and Hamilton situation from 2020, to be honest.
It was really close. XTXP really squeezing there, Jean, but still I think he had space, but then lost traction at the exit, and I think it was the Haas of Baclow who was as well on that trouble. Really unfortunate for him. We'll see if he has damage. It seems like now dropping and going into the pits as well as Ido on that Williams. Really early pit stops.
We have Pookie right now eyeing up a move for Maka. I just noticed that Maka overtook Pokey. So the Mercedes are looking for a provisional 2-4 right now. This is looking really good for the Constructing Championship, but Maka is keeping it nice and tucked in the lead of that second train from P4 to I believe P7.
Maka starting on P8, yeah, he's gained 4 places and he's doing an amazing job now. But that gap is still extending between him and Kane, and well, I mean, might be good if he wants to pit on the same lap as his teammate, but in terms of being the cork of the battle, well, he is right now, as he has a lot of drivers just behind him. Pookie, Gabizom and iPhone just there on the back. We'll see how that goes at the end of this race and after the pit calls, but will be really interesting. Now Gabizom as well really close on Pookie, but everyone here with DRS to defend against each other.
I was gonna notice something very interesting, that Edu and Crampy are really close, and I just saw them for a while. They were really close, but Edu's not helping Crampy right now to get that DRS or to get to even conceive the position. Edu has a fresher tire. Background XCP is switching positions, but is he letting Crampy through? No, Crampy is far away from him. so not a lot of team play. We saw a lot of team play with them earlier, but I don't know what's going on right now. But we're still seeing with that P4 to P7 train, Puking, Gabizem, and Fytron are really close together right now.
Now Jose Manuel, it seems like he was trying a move, but the traction was not good at the exit of turn 3. He tried it on Crampy. I don't know if they're on the same strategy. I think Crampy didn't pit yet, and Jose Manuel, look at that traction, and Crampy now losing a little bit of grip at the exit. Jose Manuel on the inside of turn 6, clear as you like. Now the Ferrari gaining another place after he pitted. I don't know if he's committed to that double.
Oh, and Jose Manuel goes off! He doesn't lose a tire, fortunately for him, but he goes off that corner. That turn again, I've seen so many collection for these drivers. They need to be careful going onto the throttle. But is he going to hold up any of the drivers? No, he doesn't. Trick Sam goes by. But what another commentary curse. I was just spectating for a second and he goes off. He's definitely going to have to pay for those damages.
Another one, and Sbaclo has a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. And still this train here for the battle for 4th place is still on fire, as Macca seemed a little bit, on at least on my end, that he was struggling on traction at the exit of turn 4. But Puck is still 3/10 there behind him, and this train still on a full machine.
Yeah, these drivers are so close together. The soft runners are starting to die off now because the medium runners are slowly starting to catch it back. As if Gabizem and from the top medium runners right now, we have Kane Gikvan pitting from the soft tires. So can we assume that these drivers are gonna start thinking about when to pit?
Surely, he's looking for the undercut, now putting the mediums. He started on the softs, I would say, of course, as he started there on P3. But yeah, Kane pitting right now. We'll see if he has traffic, and it seems like he'll have at least a couple of drivers to clear.
Oh, there's some contact between Pookie and Gabizem. Sorry to cut you off there. Going to turn 3, there was some contact. Pookie was eyeing up a move. Is this going to allow Ufun to overtake Gabizem? It looks like he's right in front of him. He doesn't need to give him space. If you want to this contact, and he's in the wall! The front wing is gone off that Aston Martin.
It was really interesting. I don't know if Gabizem was able to watch him on his screen, because it was, I don't know if it was a big squeeze from the Aston Martin driver or just Gabizem that didn't watch anything there, but he is clear and without damage. Meanwhile, iPhone with, well, it will be really tough for him after what he was doing. Now Wisp and Carbon Racer answering to that pit stop call from Kane. We'll see if they are falling behind the McLaren driver or if they are keeping that lead. It will be really important.
Well, we have these drivers not pitting. Maka allowing for Carbon to choose the preferred strategy, of course. Maka's provisional P1, but obviously he's going to have to pit. And he's going to definitely fall back to order, but it's definitely going to be interesting to see where these...
Look at that undercut.
Oh, a little bit off there. Ooh, that was a little bit squiggly from Pookie there.
The undercut from Kane has not worked, but it's really close. I don't know if he gained something against Carbon Racer and Wisp. Seems like he's still on the RS range. That's important for him, and probably he will even try now with a lot of battery, not utilizing it, but still keeping it tied to the rear of the Mercedes driver. The three of them, they're the net leaders, Wisp, Carbon Racer, and the McLaren of Kane.
Looks like Maka is going into the pits right now. No surprise there. Needs to keep it nice so they don't cut off. But yeah, these drivers are, there's a lot of actually going into these races right now. P4 and P5 for the Alpine boys. They're going to the pits, I believe, as well. No, they're not. They're still going out with those medium tires, back row with those 13-lap softs.
Really good strategy for them. Yeah, back row still on the softs. That's interesting. We'll see how much he can extend that first pit stop. And I would think it will be the only one. Is that Wisp? Is that, no, that's Dark. Really close on the Alpine of the French driver. Now it's just on the back. They're both overtaking back row. There's contact, at least on my screen, going wide. XTXP and Wisp is trying to get that move done. Now overtaking one of the Alpine drivers and trying to force that 3 wide into turn 4. Will he able to put that move? He's cutting there on the inside to get that move done. 3 wide still at the exit of 4, now into 5. This is gonna be really interesting. Dark clear ahead of both of these drivers. Back row squeezing a little bit and putting the elbows out to defend that place on those old softs that don't provide a lot of grip to that Alpine. But now Wisp is really, really close, and probably he will try it in turn 9, but will be really difficult to make it. Now it's just fully behind that Alpine. We'll see if he
still
can
not
make it.
pitting yet, but Wisp, this is costing him a lot of time. Carbon Racer is also right behind this train. If he can find that slim opportunity, that slim opening, he can definitely gain a lot of positions.
Got it on the main straight, timing it perfectly there to get that grip at the exit of last corner. Now it's turn for Carbon Racer if he doesn't want to lose time, but it is Canay there trying out the outside of both drivers. Now with Backrow as well trying it. Backrow squeezing a little bit into the curb to the McLaren driver, and now opening DRS. All of them. Who is gonna get ahead there on turn 4 on the outside goes the McLaren driver. A little bit of contact between wheels, squeezing to the grass, to the curb, and it's pretty wide. And Carbon Racer is gonna get both of them.
Carbon Racer saw that opening and he took the chance. He got the positions he wanted. And that's an amazing move. There's so much action right now. Backrow and Kanei Gikran was too busy fighting. And what is
There's
this?
contact.
There's a yellow flag. There's Kanei Gik and Edu collecting each other. They're so blocking the track. Pookie gets damaged and there's big collection from these drivers. Maka goes through, but Kanei Gikran is gone.
Wasn't the inside of John, and I think there was contact there. Kanei spun, and their contact with Edo, who was the first one to collide, then Pookie, and then it was, I think, the other Williams.
That was a whole roadblock there. There was no space for move.
Mac as well was there on that incident, and gonna be really, really heartbreaking for him as he was doing
what is going
really
on
good
into
recovery.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but there's some glitch right now. I don't know if you see this, but there's like Maka's. Okay, I don't know. You can continue this. My game is bugging out for some reason.
I think it's same for me. A lot of change of positions. We will see if this corrects itself. But at the moment, we're just trying to figure out if this is working. Yellow flags there on track without any visible incidents on the map. So we'll see if this glitch will keep or if, well, if it will be fixing itself. But right now it seems like no more contact, at least
it looks
on my
like
screen.
the leaderboard has fixed himself up, so this game is definitely esports ready, as you can see. Carbon Racer is in P4. Dark and Wisp are in front of him, so Carbon needs to find those positions. Dark does have a 3-second penalty, so he's gonna have to watch out for that. But most of the drivers are now keeping it nice and tuck.
It seems like fixed now, but back row now bidding, but on my screen is doing a lot of teleports that I won't be watching anymore because that's pain on my brain. But now bidding into P10, it seems, at least on my screen, that he is going, but doesn't seem like on your screen. So really, really weird stuff. But now we will try to focus on the battles, if we can watch any.
Of course. This game does need its time to just figure out itself. But I believe Max O'Connor get a nice run. Maka goes for the easy overtake against Max O'Connor, and that we can definitely see. No bugs with that. Maka gets the easy move there with those new tires. But back row with those 16-lap tires. Oh nope, that's wrong. Never mind. He's on the new medium tires. That's just my leaderboard bugging out. But we have these medium drivers right now. It's getting close to where they're gonna have to pit soon. Crampy does have a 3-second penalty as well, so this is not looking good right now for the William boys.
It's not good. It's not looking good. They had a lot of issues today. Crampy having to recover after that spin, either being involved on that crash on turn 8. So we'll see if they can come back and have some points, as Jasko has retired. I don't know where. It seems like in the pit lane, but it's already 2 retirements for today.
It looks like Trixam and Pookie are having a scrap right now. Trixam looked like he overtook. He's going down in the outside line, or is he going in the inside line? He's gonna dive in the inside line. Choose that line carefully. Is he gonna leave enough space? Pookie goes for the switch pack. Does he have enough exit speed? Utilizes their battery. They're still going side by side. Oh, there was a little bit of contact, but not enough to set them off. Pookie is behind Trixan. I don't believe there's any overtake positions, but he is in DRS range. Is he gonna go side by side, going through his corner? It's not smart to do so. Sits behind him, that's smart to do. And I believe he's gonna go for that next DRS range.
He has to do it, because the difference between tires is, well, You can see the grip there for the Ferrari. He's really pushing for it, and we'll see if he can do it on turn 3. Sorry, now with DRS, a lot of speed now. Good defending from Trixan, but now Puck is ahead up into P7. Both drivers with penalties. It's 3 seconds for each other. Now a yellow flag as iPhone has been crashing there on turn 1. There's a safety car.
That's a safety car. Crampy's. Oh, this is very good for Crampy right now. He can finally come back into the train, and as well as Carbon Racer, he can finally go back into that gap. But as well, this is huge for the medium runners right now. As some of these medium runners, they've been setting out 20 laps or 12 laps, sticking with the entire race, and now they can finally get a free pit stop.
Everyone pitting except Carbon Racer staying out. We'll see if Jean decides to. Yes, he's pitting. I think this is a mistake from Carbon Racer. He will be absolutely mugged there on the restart with new softs, defending against new soft with old mediums. That's gonna be really interesting, but we'll see if those softs can go to the end easily. We have seen drivers pitting really early, so it's gonna be really close between both tires. Dark pitting but for new mediums,
well,
but a lot of drivers pitting for softs.
This medium tire is 6 lap old, and the softs can definitely, I believe they can last, but the tire wear is gonna be huge. Carbon Racer, we've seen in the past from him not taking the right decisions. This might be another one to add to his collection. Is the Crampy pit? Crampy did not pit, I believe.
Crampy's pitting now, yeah, it seems like.
Yes, he is. For those soft tires.
For new softs. But Crampy has a lot of drivers there to clear. And he has to have the pace. He qualified on P10, if I remember correctly, and now dropping a couple of places. Not too much time lost there on the pit lane, as everyone is going to change those tires as well. Everyone except Kane, Carbon Racer, and Edo, who might be doing it eventually. So we will see how this turns after the safety car restart. We might be watching green flag racing in I think lap 24.
So we can see with the position gains, we have XCXP with the 13 position gains, as well as Gabizem. He's moved up 8 places into the podium position. If he can stick with those softs, he's definitely looking for a podium and good points for the Red Bull. So what a phenomenal race for him. So we have these drivers right now.
With the safety car really gained a lot of places. He was doing good extending that first stint, and now, well, it's the luck of some drivers on some races, and now, well, I think this is a payback after the bad luck he has been having some races. Now P5, we'll see if he can hold it. He was not doing really bad. He was holding the pace of his teammate that he is a cheer ahead, as it was back row, who I think double stacked as he lost 4 places there against his teammate.
Yeah, I see that those Alpine boys were really close together, and now there's a big gap between those drivers. But the race is not over yet. Luckily, it's a safety car to help those drivers who didn't have a good race or didn't have a good race so far by spinning. So Crappy, he's still in contention for some points, but that 3-second penalty is definitely going to set him off by a lot. If the gap is going to be really close to the end, it's definitely going to set him off by a lot.
Finally pitting, so only 2 drivers with worn tires, well, at least with more wear than the other drivers. Will be Carbon Racer now on the lead, and Canadian on P8 with 4 lap old mediums. Now I think 1 more lap of safety car, so as I predicted, it will be lap 24. 13 laps I think of racing there with green flag if we don't have any more issues till the end. So it's gonna be interesting because the differential of tires can make a lot of moves, a lot of action, can create scenarios that we haven't seen before, and Carbon Racer will be struggling. I think, at least that's the prediction, that he will be struggling on the restart against Gabizom and Wisp.
Carbon Racer needs to hope that he can stick it through to the end, because the softs will definitely die off. But he does have 8 lap old medium tires. The interval between medium and softs isn't that huge, but if Carbon Racer can stick it through until the end, he might be in the podium position, because Carbon Racer needs to be in the podium position if he wants to score this championship title. If he's on the podium position and Carbon Racer doesn't, Crampy doesn't even need to score any points, if he wants to win the championship. So this is crucial for Carbon Racer not to make any mistakes.
Yeah, it will be really interesting how he managed to do it, if he holds everyone and then with the mediums can stretch that gap, or if he starts to battle and drop places. And well, it's really interesting to see. A safety car is called on this lap, so Carbon Racer, sorry, now will be able to keep the pace that he wants now till that safety car is on the pit lane, and we'll have a good restart, we hope, with a lot of action.
We've definitely seen a lot of action so far. Crampy not having a good race at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see if he can climb back that ladder. I won't be surprised if he does, but he needs to keep it consistent. Edu, unfortunately, his teammate being in last place, I think he had a connection issue, so AI had to drive for a little bit. But these drivers right now, there's a bunch of drivers right now. We have drivers lining up. If Bits, if you want to take it away for the restart.
Done contact with XTXP, that's not gonna be good for him, and now we are ready for that restart. Is Wisp really close there, and Kaneik, I think, giving back some places. It's 3 wide there on turn 1. There's contact between the Ferrari of Puki and John, side by side between Trixam and the AlphaTauri of the Uruguayan. And now who's that? Puki trying to make a move on the inside. Now it's Trixam side by side on turn 3. The traction is gonna be better, it seems, at least for the AlphaTauri. There he is. He's on P6 right now, utilizing that battery on the outside line. Now for turn 4, is he gonna get it? Now look at that grip on the outside, but he's braking really late, that McLaren. But John just ahead there with better tires, that's what he needs. And now, well, just needs to fight it with XTXP. Wisp, meanwhile, really close to the back of Gabizon, who has not been able to overtake the Mercedes on the lead.
Carbon Racer is still fighting for the lead right now. There's some good side-by-side action right there, but nobody going off. We've already seen the gap with these top 4 drivers already taking away. XTXP is almost outside the DRS range. Is Gavison gonna go for the move? He's using most of his battery. DRS will be back on shortly, and that's definitely gonna affect Carbon Racer. He does look for a move. He's gonna look for a move in this turn 4, this long straight. He's definitely gonna use up a lot of battery, as well as Wisp. He's already down on the 30% percentile. Is he gonna go for the move? He's looking for the outside line.
Really close to tap that rear of the Red Bull Wisp. Now with a lot of traction, the Alfa Romeo driver, who will find the inside or the outside. We will see now the late stages of that back straight. Is Wisp going to dive? They are going to put that 3 wide. Well, now Wisp now on the inside of turn 4. What a beautiful move from the Alfa Romeo driver, who started on pole position and now trying to catch Carbon Racer, who needs to stay on that P1 to keep the championship alive. Now as Crampy overtakes Sid for that 10th place, it's 1 point for the Williams driver, and now being overtaken by Sid. They are side by side on 6 and 7, now into 8. There the Alfa Romeo losing a place against the championship leader, and this is good news for
points right now. Carbon Racer is not happy with Gabizon not holding up Wisp that much, but Wisp is in the clear for that P1. The DRS is active. Crampy is in the points with even with that 3-second penalty. So will we see these drivers right now? They're gonna open DRS right now. Will Wisp have enough space to go for the overtake? Carbon Racer is already so slow going to that straight.
He's going for it. He's on the inside of turn 3, but Wisp is going for it as well.
We have Dark going into the pre-3 position right now. He's right behind the Wisp. If he got that good exit, he could have gone into P2, but he's already low on that ERS as well as Wisp. Carbon Racer is chilling nicely with that 50% ERS. But what a move from Dark. We saw that out of nowhere.
Amazing. With mediums as well. So now this is very bad news for Gabizon. He doesn't have penalty though. He can get that after the penalties are applied for the driver. But Dark with those mediums now flying, putting himself into P3 and extending that gap, the top 4 against John. It doesn't seem like he has the pace to keep it. Now yellow flag. It seems like Jose Manuel had an issue at turn 6 and 7. Again, as we saw before.
We have XHP back row back together. We have Sid as well falling off in the order. He took a spin, but we need to focus back on this action right now. There's too much to be going on right now. He has Wisp right behind a Carbon Racer. Is he gonna go for the move? Carbon Racer is not using that much of the battery. Is he gonna go for the ease? This looks like an easy overtake for Wisp. Will Carbon Racer fight that, or will he let him through?
Racer will have the switchback. We will see if he can get it. We'll see if he has the DRS. Yes, he will have it, and he will have as well battery. Wisp is on really low percentage there of battery, but he has the grip of the subs. Will he be able to keep that P1? And yet it seems like the fight. He has won that one on turn 4. Carbon Racer not being able to answer against that move. 12th lap. All mediums for the Mercedes, and now struggling as Dark is really pushing. We saw that move on the outside of turn 3 perfectly executed for the Haas driver, and now pushing as much as he can. 9 laps to go.
Van almost went through Crampy. We have Pookie off, almost hitting the drivers. That was a really close collision between Crampy and all the other drivers, but Crampy wanted to go for the moves, but he couldn't find any space. Trixam moves up to P7 or XEXP, goes up to P6, but Wisp takes P1 right now. Carbon Racer's right behind him. Is he gonna go for the move? He has 60% ERS. He's not utilizing it.
He's not using any battery. I think he's waiting for the end. He wants to stay on that DRS and wait to the end. Well, when he will have more grip and to attack Wisp. Now it's 6th lap only for Wisp of that tire wear. We'll see if that will kick in after. Now we have a lot of exchanges as back row climbed into P6. Going off track is the McLaren of Strixam. A lot of battle there on the back straight. We have a lot of private, and if there's Crumpy as well on the middle, he will try the outside line to overtake Strixam. There he's going for it. Now they're side by side, squeezing a little bit that McLaren. Crumpy not able to find any space to clear that traffic for him. He's on soft and he wants to clear it as fast as he can, and we have an exchange because Dark has spun at the exit of turn 8.
Dark has spun. Oh no, he was looking for the podium position and he has spun, hitting one of those turns again. The beginning of sector 3. That turn has seen as the trend is to just collect so many drivers, but we're still not done yet. There's still so much action to report. Trixam is 2/10 behind back row. Is he gonna go for the move going to turn 1? No, he will not.
That main straight.
DRS.
Main straight is full of cars now going into turn 2. There's Strixam with the DRS open. He's gaining, and Crumpy as well with a double slipstream. He will try to find a door open. Is he finding it? Yes, he is on turn 3, but this is risky for the championship. He's taking that place from back row. Sainz is at the back as well. Now Strixam has to defend against the leader of the championship. There he goes on the outside line. Crumpy gonna take it. Crumpy gonna take it on the outside. Look at that, this side-by-side action on turn 4. This is deja vu from last lap as Strixam keeps it ahead, but Crumpy having a better traction at the exit of turn 4 on the inside of 6. This is gonna be dangerous for him. He needs to yield, and he does it. He doesn't want to risk it. He's in a very good place. I think he's winning the championship right now.
Crumpy does not want to risk any moves there. If he risks any moves, there's a chance of him spinning it. And he can win the championship, I believe. He has that 3-second penalty, which will probably put him back into P9. But Karma Racer still looking, even with the 15-lap old medium tires, he's really close to Wisp. So
doing a perfect job there to keep the championship alive. If Carbon Racer wins, Crampy has to be 4th or above to keep it alive. And now who's that? Is Crampy? Yeah, again doing the same on the outside of turn 3. Is he finding the way now? Yes, he is. As Strixam had a little bit of oversteer. Well, he lost another place with Edo, and now Crampy on a very good position. He has a 3-second time penalty that will put him back at least 2 places. We see Trixam as they're fighting with the teammate of Crampy. And Edo's keeping it ahead.
Drivers and Trixam, they're keeping it so close. Edo was last place, and he's just following Crampy through. This is very good right now for the Williams. They're having the perfect comeback right now, and this is so much action right now. This is beautiful racing. This is what we like to see in MRL.
Of course, we love it. As Trixam gets a penalty, and that's gonna be really good for Crampy. Well, Crampy got another one. He has 6 seconds on his name, and right now that can cost him 1 place.
6
One
seconds.
more place.
That is definitely gonna cost him a lot of position and a lot of points for the championships. Carbon Racer is still fighting for Wisp. He's right behind him in the gearbox. He hasn't overtaken him during the straight, so there was a lot of opportunities for him to overtake him, but
Edo's overtaking his teammate. There he goes. Crumpy losing a place against his teammate, and well, that's 2 points less. But I think Edo without penalties, probably that's team orders. He needs Edo to push and cuts to Jean, and probably that's why he left him, or at least he didn't fight so much, because 6 seconds for Crumpy, any penalty for his teammate.
Yeah, I don't know what the Williams are doing. I believe letting Edu go and maybe getting more points for your team isn't good. But if Crampy is stuck in the air, the dirty air, and not given DRS, that's definitely gonna make him lose positions. But we have most of the drivers right now. We have Jose Manuel going to that death curb again, getting a yellow flag there.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the best friend for him. 12th place, 9 seconds of penalties. Seems like the points are really far for him today. A shame, and Carbon Racer now really close to that win. He's utilizing now a little bit of battery. He's down into 50% against 70 as we saw before, and now it seems like the mediums are starting to win time against those old softs. 3 seconds is the difference between them.
I think what who's that?
Oh, that's a mistake from
Edu spun during to turn 3. What must have happened between these William drivers? Was there some contact? Trixam or Kane Gikvan is going side by side with Maka, I believe. Will Maka get onto the point position? He goes up P9, but they're still going side by side. What is going on right now? Everything is going left and right. Maka is in front of Kane Gikvan. There's a yellow flag in sector 2. I believe that's it.
Another spin. Yeah, the same corner. Sorry, not the same corner. It was turn 3 for Edu and turn 4 for him. But now everything really close to the end. 4 laps to go, and Carbon Racer is still keeping that gap really close. The top 4 drivers there on the top of that time tower, of course. 11 lap old for Wisp, 18 lap old for Carbon Racer, but those are mediums, so he will have a lot of probably advantage at the end. We'll see. We're really close to that end.
Do you think that Carbon Racer will wait until the last lap for the overtake? Because I've seen Carbon Racer so many times not to use. He doesn't use that much battery, as well. He just keeps behind the Wisp. Is he waiting for that perfect opportunity on the last lap to overtake?
It might be. It will be really wise if he does it, not giving Wisp any option to counter strike that move.
Trixam is right behind Crappy. The medium tires are starting to slowly gain more time to these soft runners.
See, that's called it on the pit lane. Really bad luck for him. A couple of mistakes that have been costing him a lot of time. Now we'll see, because it's only 14 drivers there that are still here with us. It's 3 laps, 3 laps icon. This is gonna be really close. Carbon Racer there is going for the move. No, he's not, but he's putting the nose. He's showing so Wisp can see on the mirrors that he has a big Mercedes on his rear view. And now exchange between Trixam and Crampy. Crampy loses another place, and that's not gonna be good for him.
The Trixam took another position. As I said, will Crampy go back for the move? He defends pretty well. Crampy sends it in the inside, but he's not gonna make him lose time. He didn't get a good exit off there, and Trixam gets back to position. I think Crampy locked up his tire too much and couldn't get that nice exit speed. Crampy's losing so much time. Back row is right behind him as well. The medium tires are now they're pretty much faster now than the softs. Carbon Racer, 2 laps left. He needs to go for the overtake soon, or else he would just be stuck behind the Wisp. But Crampy does have that 6-second time penalty, which will definitely set him back. And I believe if Carbon Racer sticks in P2 and Crampy sets back, I believe he's provisional P9? Yeah, I think even provisional out of the points. If Carbon Racer sticks in position, he will definitely still be in the contention for winning the championship.
6 seconds, that will put him at least on P10, P9 there, really close between Kane, Maka and him. Now who's that? Is that Trixam? Yes, Trixam again, putting a lot of pressure under Crampy's shoulders, and now Crampy trying to go again to the McLaren. He will try to find a way on turn 4. He's on the inside, battling side by side. He gets it done now, but the softs are starting to struggle. We can see that on traction and on mid-corner speed as Crampy is trying to keep ahead. That Williams trying to keep the championship for him. It only 2 laps to go as the leaders are gonna start now. The last lap of this race is Wisp crossing there, and Carbon Racer just behind him with a lot of battery. He's utilizing that on the main straight. We'll see if he can get it on turn 3. They're really close now. Look at that, Psycho.
He's gonna have to use everything. The battery does not matter. He needs to use up everything he has, but he's so far away from Wisp. Wisp doesn't have any battery. Is he gonna for the move? No, he's not. Wisp has 80% battery, but Carbon Racer has 30%. I don't believe it's enough.
straight in everything there on the run on turn 3, and he has not get anything back. And now it's only 4 tenths. He doesn't have more options now. He needs to really push on that third sector. He goes wide on turn 4. That's a mistake for him, and this is 8 cents. 8 cents between Wisp and Carbon Racer. We'll see if Crampy falls, and that will keep the championship alive after those penalties. But Carbon Racer now on P2 not able to take that win. That was really critical for him for the championship, to be able to at least keeping it one more round. But Wisp now on turn 9, it's only 2 corners to go. Alfa Romeo started on pole position, and now after a perfect strategy he will take the win. There he goes, it's Wisp taking the flag on first place, and Carbon Racer on second. It will Gabism on that Red Bull. Jan after penalties probably will not fall back. It's a P4 for Jan and Trixam, and Crampy is still really close. Who's gonna get it? Is Crampy gonna fall? How much?
Crampy's in P7. He's won the championship. Crampy has won the 2021 Emerald Championship, even with the 6-second penalty. What a race from Crampy. He's finally won in the third to last race. Crampy has won the Emerald 2021 Championship for Williams.
Amazing performance after having contact on the first stages of this race. Crampy gets that P7 after Carbon Racer is not able to overtake Wisp. That was the critical thing that the Mercedes driver had to do, and he was not able to perform that well. Crampy will take the championship here in Austria with that P7. Amazing job for him.
Congratulations for Crampy winning that €50, and I believe he's one of the first drivers to win the championship in all of the tiers of MRL. So what an amazing drive for him all season. I'm not surprised he won. He had a huge gap and kept it on towards the end of the season. What amazing racing we saw today. We have Wisp winning from pole, taking the leads and keeping it on the track. Carbon Racer going with a risky, decisive move and going for sticking on to medium. So here is the standings. We have Wisp for the P1, starting P1 for Alfa Romeo. We have Carbon Racer in P2, no longer in the contending because Crampy has won the championship. Gabism in P3, that's your podium positions. Gian for P4, AlphaTauri G5, P5 for Backrow, good points for him. P6 for Kane Gikvan. Crampy P7, your Emerald Tier 3 championship winner. We have P8 Edu, P9 XTXP, and P10 Trixam. That's your top 10. P11 Maka Mercedes. P12 AMS Dark. We have P13 for Pookie, P14 for Jose Manuel, P15 for Sid, P16 for Max O'Connor, Ifun, Yasko, and Baclau. What a race we had. Congratulations for Wisp and congratulations for Crampy for being the first driver to win the Emerald Championship.
Amazing battles they have shown this season. We have them already there on the interview waiting room. Everyone here. I think we will be starting with Gabism, third place for today. So I will be bringing it here to the commentary booth. There he goes. It's Gabism with a third place for Red Bull. How are you feeling after that one?
Well, thanks for having me, guys. I think I was pretty lucky with the safety car, but I think my pace was good, but I got stuck behind 2 guys, and by the end, Wisp was too quick for me, and Carbon Racer did not made any mistakes, so GG to them.
That was some good racing you had there. You had a lot of position gains. What was going in your mind? Was there a lot of managing to do in this Austria race?
Yeah, with the mediums mainly because I really want to have at least 15 laps quick with the softs, but I got stuck behind a Mercedes and a Ferrari, I think. So trying to with the safety car, like everyone has a new soft, a new tire, so was kinda useless.
Well,
it was really good performance.
You drove well, you drove good. You kept in consistency, especially you took advantage of the safety car. We're going to the last couple races. Crampy has won the championship, but the contender championship is still on. How do you feel for the next race in Mexico?
It's not a good track for me, but thinking by now I'm just trying to help the team to get the max points we can.
It'll be fantastic to see you here there in Mexico. So we hope that you have a really good race and try to maximize those points. See you next week, Gabison.
Right, thank you guys.
Now we'll be talking with second place today. And not only second place here for Austria, it will be as well second place at least that he will get on the championship. You lost today the championship, Carbon Racer. How you feel about that?
It was such a tiring race, but I did all I could for the championship, and it just wasn't enough in the end.
Yeah, you were looking really good going those last stages. Do you think you made the wrong strategy call as you decided to stick out with the medium tires and everyone decided to pit for the softs? What was going through your mind when the safety car came out?
I thought everyone would be staying out, and I saw Dark in front of me dive into the pits. I didn't see Wisp dive in until I passed the pit lane line, so I had to just stay out. And the tires, they weren't too old, and I knew that the softs would start to go off, so I just stayed out when it was good.
As well as you were keeping it nice and tucked behind Wisp, and I saw there was a lot of opportunities for you to overtake Wisp in DRS straight. What was going on in your mind when you were after the safety car? What was going through your mind of like what kind of strategy you had in mind with uh with Wisp and you?
I was gonna save it till the last lap, but starting the last lap out the last corner, I had a massive slide, lost like 3 or 4 tenths, so I wasn't really close enough down either straight.
I see, I see. Well, that was an amazing race for you. We had a lot of fun watching you guys battle out. Unfortunately, you didn't win the championship, but second place in the constructor championship. You must be proud for yourself.
Yeah, I'm really pleased with it. Congrats to Crampy, who had some good races all season, so respect to him for that. And I think it's good Mercedes are back at the top of the constructors in Tier 3.
That is good to hear, especially for me. We'll definitely see with the next coming races for Mexico and Brazil to see if Mercedes win the constructor championship. But thank you, Carbon Racer, for today. Good job with the P2, bringing a lot of good points. And we'll see you for Mexico.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So now we have our P1 winner. Wisp has joined the channel. The Swedish driver won in pole and took the lead and won the race. How do you feel, Wisp?
It feels amazing to finally get the win. I've been pushing a lot this season, and I just wanted to win so bad in Austria. So I've been practicing a lot, and yeah, it feels amazing.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. You took pole and you led the race. You kept it very consistent. What was your practice? Did you practice a lot before the race, or?
Not before the race particularly. I took it kind of easy. I just played other games and just relaxed a little bit. But I've been practicing the past week. I think it's like over 20 hours now. So I've been just trying to get fast now at the end of the season now to have a better chance next season of the championship.
Yeah, and that definitely helped you with your mentality. I'm guessing that was definitely a dominant drive for you. So Crampy has won the championship, as you presumably know, and we're going to the last couple of races. How do you feel for Mexico?
I haven't driven the track since last game. Did a little bit in the endurance race, and I think my pace is okay. Hopefully I can push for second in the championship if I keep going ahead of Carbon Racer. It's gonna be close though if the last couple of races are like this one.
Definitely is. Well, good job on your win this season. We'll see you next time. Hopefully in the interview waiting room. So thank you for today.
Thank you.
Well, now, as everyone knows, he crossed the line on P7. Carbon Racer, his rival, on P2. And now, as we know, he's crowned as the Tier 3 champion. We have it here on the commentary booth. How you feeling about that? Not win on track, but it's a win for the championship. And a very good performance, a very good comeback. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Very happy about that, obviously. Winning the title, very happy. Managed to get it. Was looking very rough at times in that race, but we managed to pull through at the end. Safety car saving me. But we managed to get what we needed to do and clutch the title with 2 races to spare.
Now with the title already done, are you gonna face these 2 last rounds? Are you gonna go for the wins, or just gonna relax a little bit, have some fun with these drivers on the midfield as you had today?
Yeah, I mean, for this race, I went no racing line anyway, which is why I was a bit off pace. But just gonna keep doing that just gonna keep doing that. See how things go. If constructors is very close between us and Mercedes, we'll try and do that obviously. But if they will, I'm not sure. But we'll try our best and see what we can do.
Of course, still constructors alive. It seems so. Nothing more to say. I think Psycho, a really good performance from him. He had a couple of issues and then he got it, and really happy for him, as he has been here a long time, and of course he deserves it.
You definitely deserve it. You had a huge lead going to this race, and you kept it throughout the whole season. You had a dominant drive and definitely showed off your pace and consistency. Congratulations, Crampy, and we'll see you next week for Mexico.
Thank you.
All right, and that's all the drivers interviewed. Again, congratulations to Crampy taking the championship, and Wisp winning today's race. We saw so much action today. It was unbelievable, left and right. There was barely anything to spectate. So, what do you think of today's race, Bido?
Never disappoints. There's always really good races. Could be on dry, could be on rain, but always bringing the action on point. So we'll see if Mexico does the same. But still, we have some races here in Austria this week. Today, we will have America's Tier 1 at 3 a.m. CET, 9 p.m. Eastern. And as well, we have still Tier 2 for tomorrow and Tier 1 for Thursday, sorry. So we'll be here as well on the commentary booth. Not us, but other commentators that really bring the action on point. So Austria, not yet done. We'll see you on a couple of hours. Well, a little bit more, but you know how this goes. So will be the outro and a rate to someone of this community. It was a really good race, Psycho, right?
It was amazing. I enjoyed that from the start to the end. And we're definitely going to see that more from the upcoming races. But thank you everyone for watching throughout the whole race. America Tier 1 in a few hours, so make sure you stick for that. As well as the Emerald merch shop, as well as online. Get your fit. It's really nice, really cool. But we'll raid Bushy Ants, I presume. And yeah, thank you everything.